See if that worked. I'm gonna try this again. 1, 2, 3. So we got testing audio here now. So we can get the stream back up. I think we got it working. Testing. See if that works. All right, do we have audio now? Try this watching live. You can give me a thumbs up. Let me know. 3. We got testing audio here now. So we can get the stream back up. I think we got it working. Testing. Just to make sure, like I said, before we get too far involved in this. Do we have audio now? Try this watching live. 1, 2, 3. We got testing audio here now. Delays. And get the stream back up. I think we got it working. Just to make sure, like I said, before we get too far involved in this. Do we have audio now? Try this watching live. 1, 2, 3. We got testing audio here now. Delays. And get the stream back up. I think we got it working. Just to make sure, like I said, before we get too far involved. We have audio now. Try this watching live. 1, 2, 3. Testing audio here now. Delays. And get the stream back up. I think we got it working. Just to make sure, like I said, before we get too far involved. We have audio now. Try this watching live. 1, 2, 3. Testing audio here now. Delays. And get the stream back up. I think we got it working. Just to make sure, like I said, decent match. Before we get too far involved. We have audio now. Try this watching live. 1, 2, 3. Testing audio here now. Delays. And get the stream back up. I think we got it working. Just to make sure, like I said, before we get too far involved. We have audio now. Try this watching live. 1, 2, 3. Testing audio here now. Delays. And get the stream back up. I think we got it working. Before we get too far involved. We have audio now. Try this watching live. 1, 2, 3. Testing audio here now. Good spear. And get the stream back up. I think we got it working. Women's Tag Team Championship match. Before we get too far involved. We have audio now. Try this watching live. 1, 2, Alexa Bliss. 3. Testing. Good spear. And get the stream back up. I think we got it working. Women's Tag Team Championship match. Before we get too far involved. We have audio now. Try this watching live. Let's try that. Alright, I think I figured out what was good. Okay. And let's see here. We're going to go next here. And we have the submission match for the Raw Women's Championship to open up the show here. Becky Lynch versus Natalya. I actually thought this was a pretty good match here to open up the SummerSlam portion of the show here. I thought these two, told a pretty decent story in the ring here. Becky Lynch with Natalya trying to, constantly lock in the sharpshooter on Becky Lynch, and likewise Becky trying to go for the disarmer. Towards the end of the match, Lynch reversed Natalya's basement dropkick into the sharpshooter, which led to the crowd raining down a fair amount of boos on Becky Lynch. Natalya put Lynch into the disarmer. Becky got to her feet, rolled, and Natty rolled Lynch into a sharpshooter, where Becky was able to counter into the disarmer. Natalya taps out. Becky Lynch is still your Raw Women's Champion. I thought not too shabby of an opening match. I thought Becky showed a good amount of fire here in this opening match, and I thought she looked good. I really did think she had a good showing here. So, yeah, not that bad of a way to open up the SummerSlam card here. Next match on this card, Dolph Ziggler versus Goldberg. I was looking so much forward to this match because I knew Ziggler was going to sell the hell out of Goldberg's offense. And I believe the match only lasted maybe a minute and a half, if that. I gotta check the match times for this. Let's see here. Minute 50. So I called it right there. It was pretty close. I said the match would last 2 minutes or less. Ziggler surprised Goldberg with 2 super kicks, but Goldberg kicked out. Ziggler yells at him. Goldberg spears Ziggler. It was a beautiful spear. It was a fantastic sell of a spear. So props to Dolph Ziggler for selling his ass off. And thank you, TN Couponer. Sound is now good. I do apologize for that. Still learning how to use this OBS software. But I hope you guys do like the background and working out the kinks here. But, Yeah, that spear by Ziggler. Goldberg hits the jackhammer for the win. After the match, Ziggler is down on the mat. He grabs Mike and says, "Get back here and fight like a man." And Goldberg spears Ziggler again. Ziggler picks up the mic one more time for round 3. And Ziggler says he knew Goldberg didn't have the balls to face him again. So Goldberg power walks back down to the ring, picks Ziggler up, shakes his head, and he pats him on the head and starts to leave. And then Goldberg hits the ropes and obliterates. He annihilates Dolph Ziggler with a spear. Man, wow. I could watch that spear over and over and over again. Good stuff. It was exactly what it needed to be. Short, sweet, and to the point, and did not overstay its welcome. So I'd have to say good stuff, guys. Good stuff between Goldberg and Ziggler. Next match here was for the United States Championship, AJ Styles versus Ricochet. I was surprised how this match ended. I really, really was. I thought it was a good match. Not quite to the level of the match that I would hope these two would have here on a show like a SummerSlam. But be that as it may, there was some nice stuff in here with Styles continuously throughout the match, working over the knee of Ricochet. I really liked the story that they were telling there, with Ricochet, trying to overcome everything that AJ was throwing at him. And, of course, Anderson and Gallows lurking at ringside. And I have to say, Ricochet's outfit, I don't know if that was kind of Nightwing inspired, but that was pretty bad ass, I'd have to say. So kudos to Ricochet for the pretty nice looking wardrobe tonight. And I missed the finish of this match. I was so pissed because I was going back to get some food. Ricochet tries for a Dragon Rana, but Styles catches Ricochet, hits him with the Styles Clash for the win. And I kind of want to see how long this match goes, because I thought they had a good match. It only went 13 minutes. I was kind of hoping maybe they give him 5 to 6 more minutes, because the match was going good. And then it felt just like it kind of ended. I was like, oh, okay. And then Anderson and Gallows hit the Magic Killer on Ricochet, so I'm running full tilt with the club here. Like I said, they are all in on the club. We had a fun little backstage vignette with the Street Profits running down what happened on the show. Ric Flair comes in, and just so much fun seeing the Nate, limousine riding, jet flying, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, son of a gun, partying up with the Street Profits. And then had Bayley versus Ember Moon for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Definitely a disappointing match here on this card. I didn't really care about this match. The crowd didn't really care about this match, which is a shame because I like Bayley and Ember Moon, but I just felt like there wasn't much of, if any, a story going into this match, and that's what hurt it. You can have good action, you could have good wrestling, but if there's no story, if there's no reason, if there's no psychology behind it, why am I, the viewer, going to care about that? And I didn't, and that's a shame because of who was involved. But Bayley picked up the win here as Ember went up top rope, and Bayley cut her off and hit the Bayley to belly for the win. So yeah, definitely one of my more disappointing matches of the night here on SummerSlam. What wasn't disappointing was Kevin Owens versus Shane McMahon. If Owens loses, he must quit WWE. So I liked how Shane McMahon tried to do everything possible to avoid facing Kevin Owens and throw every obstacle in his way. He made Elias the guest enforcer. Elias tripped Owens early on. Shane, with his god-awful punches, he kept trying to get out of Dodge's way, And, Shane hit a side Russian leg sweep. Owens kicks out. Owens almost hit the pop-up powerbomb, but Shane countered it into a DDT for a nice near fall. Elias threw the chair into the ring. This is one of my favorite spots in this match. And Shane's like, hit me with it. And Owens is like, stupid, I'm not going to do that. If I hit you with that, I'm going to be freaking fired from WWE. Owens crushes Shane with the senton, goes up for the frog splash, but Elias pulls the ref out, and Owens hits Cannibal off the ring apron, and we get the ref bump in this match. And Owens beats down Elias with the chair, and Owens is about to hit Shane with the chair, but the ref's getting just back in, and Owens goes to throw the chair outside. Ref goes to tend to that, and Owens kicks Shane in the nuts as the referee ain't looking, hits the stunner for the win. Kevin Owens beats Shane McMahon. Now, I pray to God that this ends the Shane McMahon nonsense. We don't need him on TV for a long, long time. And I like Shane McMahon, I do, but enough is enough. Let's all be honest here. Moving on to the next match here on the SummerSlam card. Definitely one of my favorites of the night. Charlotte Flair versus Trish. I have to say, Trish, she was showing some stratisfaction tonight. Trish looked damn good in the ring. She looked like she did not miss one step whatsoever. So shout out to Trish, who is one of my all-time favorites, and it was very, very, very nice to see her back in the ring here. So a good showing from Trish. Early on, it was really all Charlotte. You know, she was just grabbing Trish, throwing her into the barricade, into the steel steps, slapping the hell out of her knife edge chops at Trish's chest. And then, you know, as they're on the outside, Trish went to the top rope, but Stratus was able to turn it into a top rope Rana for a near fall. Stratus missed the chick kick, and Charlotte also kicked out of the Stratusfaction for a nice near fall. Trish locked in the figure 8 on Charlotte, but Flair was able to get to the bottom rope. Flair tried for a spear. Stratus moved out of the way. Like I said, hit Stratusfaction. Flair kicked out at 2. Stratus lands the chick kick, but Flair kicks out again. Both women attempt to go for a big boot. Flair lands. Flair puts in the figure 8. Taps out Trish Stratus. Great showing by Trish. Afterward, the crowd are chanting, "Thank you, Trish." What's going on, Jeff? Thanks for tuning in here, talking about Trish Stratus. Charlotte Flair, crowd showing their adulation, their love, their support for their hometown girl. And good stuff here. Definitely one of my favorite matches of the night. Charlotte Flair versus Trish Stratus. Backstage, Bret Hart, the Hitman, wished Seth Rollins good luck in his main event match against Brock Lesnar. Now, what was disappointing, because I was looking forward to this, and it took away from this match for me, Randy Orton versus Kofi Kingston. I thought they were telling a good story here. A good match. You know, Kofi going up high risk, high octane. You know, Orton suplexed Kofi Kingston onto the announcer's desk. Orton suplexes Kingston again on the announcer's desk. And Kingston hits a diving DDT. Goes up to the top rope. Back body drop. Kofi Kingston back over the top rope. And it hits a falling star splash. Cross body for another near fall. Orton calls for the RKO, but a nice counter here by Kofi Kingston turns the RKO into the backslide. And, Orton's laughing, mocking Kofi Kingston as Kofi dove off the top rope right into an RKO. And Kofi rolls out of the ring. I'm like, that's smart. That's a good veteran move. So Orton and him are on the outside. Orton's kind of making fun of him and, mocking Kofi in front of his family. The bell rings. Double count out. I am thinking, what the hell is this? A double count out for the WWE Championship? I mean, I get it. You want to continue the feud, but the crowd wasn't having it. I certainly wasn't having it. I mean, I'm happy we're going to see another match, but I felt like that could have been done much, much, much better. So the match is a no contest. After the match, Kingston beats Orton with a kendo stick, and Kingston hits Trouble in Paradise. So that finish really took away from the match, which I thought was going so good. And I'm just like, can we just get a decisive finish one way or the other? I get it. You want the feud to continue, but there could have been a better way to have done this, in my opinion. So lackluster finish, really disappointing outcome there. What wasn't disappointing, what lived up to the hype, was Finn Balor versus the Fiend, Bray Wyatt. This is exactly what this needed to be. Wyatt with the creepy new entrance and the remix of his "Catching Flies in His Mouth, roaming freely," with the severed head lantern. I'm like, this thing's badass. And he did wrestle in the mask. Fiend chokes out Balor. Balor gets a little bit of offense in. Before the Fiend hits him, tries to hit him with Sister Abigail, Balor hits Sling Blade, goes up top rope with the coup de grace. He's coming off. The Bray Wyatt catches him with the mandible claw. Balor passes out, and his shoulders are counted down. Short, sweet, to the point. The Fiend is established as a dominant, unstoppable force. Bray Wyatt needs to win. I'll say it again. Bray Wyatt needs to win and win and win. You can build him up, hell. If this goes really, really well, why not have him win the Royal Rumble? I'm just saying. It's been thrown out there. This has money. This has potential. WWE, do not, I repeat, do not screw this up. Thank you. Even though I know you might. Just please try not to. And what was surprisingly a really good match, Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins. I knew going into this Rollins was going to have an uphill battle. But this match went 13 minutes and 25 seconds. Let me tell you, it was a good match. I thought Brock was on his A game here. I thought Seth, good showing in this match. Early on, the crowd was split, but I felt like Rollins won them over in the end. Right off the back here. Rollins hits curb stomp as Lesnar tried to go for a German. Near fall. Rollins tried for another stomp. Brock counters into the F5. Rollins rolls to the ropes. And the one part of the match I really liked was when Lesnar picked up Rollins by his rib tape and swung him around and hit three consecutive German suplexes. Lesnar German suplex Rollins out to the floor, tried for the F5. Rollins escaped and sent Lesnar twice headfirst into the post. Springboard knee by Rollins. Tried to get another one on Lesnar, but he sidestepped him right into a German suplex. Brock takes off the gloves. Brock runs shoulder first into the ring post, and Rollins kicks Lesnar off the apron. Lesnar dives right into hits the announcer's desk. Rollins does 2 suicide dives, but you knew Brock was going to catch him on that third one, and almost pulled him into the ring here. And Rollins leaped off the top rope, hits a splash that drove Brock Lesnar through the table here. So I'm thinking, holy crap. Might Seth Rollins actually be able to beat Brock Lesnar? Because I knew, going into this match, it was going to be tough. Seth Rollins opened his mouth on Twitter and then saying, I absolutely have to beat Brock Lesnar. I didn't think that Seth would be able to get it done. But somehow, some way, and he promised, he said, I'm going to beat him. I'm like, okay, Seth, you say you're going to beat Brock Lesnar? Well, you kind of have to do that now. I'm just saying. And eventually, Rollins hits a curb stomp again. Brock Lesnar, and he becomes a 2-time Universal Champion. I'm like, all right. I wasn't too thrilled with Rollins' first run as Universal Champion, and I think he needs to watch what he says when he opens up his mouth, especially in these interviews and on Twitter. But I thought the match between him and Brock Lesnar was much better than I expected, and kudos to both of them going out there and having a pretty damn good match, in my opinion. And that's how we go off the air. We went off the air at 10:30. I'm like, nice, I get to go to bed on time. Isn't that awesome? So my overall thoughts on SummerSlam, what I really liked was the main event. I wanted to like Kofi versus Orton, but that finish just really took away from it. I liked the Fiend winning, dominating. I liked the Goldberg squash. That was fun. Becky versus Natalya. I thought that was a solid opener. Charlotte versus Trish. Good stuff right there. I enjoyed AJ versus Ricochet. And trying to think what else here on the SummerSlam card. But really surprised no Roman Reigns. No Daniel Bryan. No Eric Rowan. No Drew McIntyre. Really shocked not to see Roman Reigns. I mean, they mentioned it. And again, didn't happen. But yeah, to me, the highlights of this match. And I like Kevin Owens versus Shane McMahon. So all in all, I would have to give this show, I'm going to go with a B. If I had to give a grade for this show, I would give it a B. So those are my thoughts. Those are my opinions on SummerSlam 2019. Like I said, apologize for the audio issues early on. Still learning how to use this new software, but hopefully it improves the viewing experience over time. I will get the hang of it here on youtube.com/DanoGuys412. Before I close things out here, hopefully going live tomorrow for my Raw review, breaking down the post-SummerSlam edition of that show, so stay tuned for that. Also, be sure to check out my live reactions videos for Charlotte versus Trish, Kevin Owens versus Shane McMahon, Kofi Kingston versus Randy Orton. Be sure to check out my tribute to Goldberg getting speared and jackhammered by my good friend, the Matt Kane of the Kane Action Team, always representing here. And be sure to check out our interview, my interview, this Wednesday, 6:30. Going to be going live. Got the bugs worked out here with Keith Collins, actor, director, stunt producer, friend. Should be a kick-ass interview. Got a lot to talk with Keith about, so a lot of great content coming soon to this channel here on youtube.com/DinoGuys412. And before I go off the air here, real quickly, let's check out the SummerSlam poll on Twitter at DinoGuys412. 54% thumbs up, 46% thumbs down. Please sure to be able to vote in the poll before we go off the air here. And that poll will be open for the next day. So that is it, guys, for this video. Thank you all for tuning in for my biggest review of the summer, SummerSlam 2019 from Toronto, Canada. So until then, guys, thanks for watching and have a good night.